Hi and welcome to Thursday's edition of JRPG Mechanics. So we've got really good progress so far. We've got a nice person object who's walking freely around our environment. We've talked about scrolling, which was embarrassingly simple. Thank you, Clickteam, for making that such a simple thing to do. And today we're going to look at the battle. I think when you think of JRPGs, compared to any other genre, it is all about the battle. Getting the battles right, getting the kind of ambience of the battle, getting the suspense of whether you're going into a battle. There's so many things we're going to look into when it comes to the battle. And I think this series is going to revolve around the battling and how to do it with Clickteam. So what we're going to look at first is just the transition. How do we get from being on the map screen to getting in the battle? So let's get started. So we can see that so far we've got a player who can walk freely around the world, but what we want to do is add a random battle. So I'm going to go out of this frame and go to the kind of, I can't remember what they call it, the storyboard editor. And I'm going to create a new frame. You can just click on more, or click on the number, sorry. And we're just going to open that frame. It's just a blank frame. I need to be able to see whether this is loaded, so I'm just going to put the background color of black or green, or actually maybe green, to say this is kind of a. I might do it black because we've got the other screen green. So this is our battle screen. Let's come out of that, and let's go into our frame here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a condition to say, right, when is the time equal to a certain value, say, I don't know, 3 seconds, then just go to our battle screen. Okay, it's simple as that. So jump to frame 2. And we could rename this actually if you double click it, but like if you click it once and then click it again, you can change the name of it. So this is going to be battle. Right, so if I run it now, walking along, and after 3 seconds, battle screen straight away. Well, that's pretty rubbish. That doesn't look like an RPG. The way RPG would do it is some sort of cool transition. Transitions are easy with Clickteam. You just click here, and you say what transition you want. So, it has a little animation there of what that looks like. Oh, that looks pretty cool, that one. And you got the cell one. And you got the door. Oh, that's pretty cool as well. And you have a kind of fade. Ah, that's cool. Oh wow, that's really cool as well. I think I like the line one. So I click the line one. Yep, deal. And now when I run the application, after 3 seconds, you get a cool line thing. But for me, that's really slow. So if we click on it and we can say transition setup, we can make it go a bit quicker. Oh, gee. Oh, wow, you can change the lines as well. Actually, I only want to. So you can do it with this one. So I think a second is more than enough. Annoyingly, you can't change the number. You've got to use this slider, which is really irritating. And so let's click, and we can do scrolling. Oh, wow. Oh, that's pretty cool as well. Let's have a look at that. Gee, it's not going to be any difference because it's all black, but okay. So that's pretty cool. And that's it. That's how simple is that. Now, we don't want it necessarily after 3 seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have another active, and this is going to be the battle probability. So it's going to be my battle probability object. So battle probability object. And so I think the battle probability, I'm going to say it's out of 100. And I'm going to put the likelihood of it. So if I put it at 50, and I'm going to call this battle probability. Okay, so I'm going to say it's 50% overall. And so we're going to get rid of the after 3 second bit because that was kind of that's not how these things work. These things work with probabilities every time you move. So we need some sort of event to say when the player has moved. I don't know which of these events we can figure out that they've actually reached their destination, because we've kind of cheesed it a little bit here. I think we need to add a little bit, so we need to add the fact that the current X is different to the destination X in here. So let's just copy and paste that and say the destination, the current X is different to the destination X. Because at the moment this is firing all the time pretty much. And if we want to tap into it, then we need to make sure it only fires once when the thing's finished, when the movement's finished. And we say, or the current Y is different to the destination Y. So if I insert a comment, and we just say player has finished movement. So this only happens when the player's finished the movement. And we're going to do like a fast loop maybe. Chance of battle. Only one. And we're going to say fast loop. So on loop, chance of battle. And we just need to roll the dice, right? So we're going to have, we can actually have it in the battle probability. So we're going to have current dice roll. And we're going to pretend that we've got 100-sided dice, right? And so we're going to roll the dice. And so we're going to have set the alterable value of current dice roll to, and this is where we start needing the random object. And the base number will be 100. I think this will give a number between 0 and 100, but I'm not 100% sure. So what I'm going to do, just to check, is I'm going to say every 20th of a second, or every 5th of a second even, I'm going to set the counter to random 100 and see what we have. Now, I don't know whether you get 100, and I don't know whether you get 0. So what I'm going to say is, if the current value equals 0, or if the current value is different to 0, and I could probably just check this out in the logs anyway, and I'm going to make it go super quick, right? And I need the counter to start on something that's not 0, clearly. So we'll start the counter at 1. There we are. Okay, so it does have a 0 in it. Now, does it have 100? I don't think it will. So you can see it just keeps going on forever. So when you have random 100, it's base 0. So it's 100 numbers, including 0, but obviously it goes up to 99, because if you include 0, up to 99 would be 100 numbers. And that's just really, really important to know. Okay, so we're never ever going to get 100 with this. Wicked. Always good to do little experiments like that to make sure you know what it is you're doing. Okay, so we're going to set the dice roll. And we're going to say if the outcome from that dice roll, so compare the dice roll, if it is lower or equal to the battle probability, is that right? Am I going the right way with this? So if you had 90, yeah, that works. Then we do the battle, right? So jump to frame, And always do jump to frame, so that in case you move your frames, because it will say next frame, well, I might have the battle one as frame 10 or something. If not, then nothing, so we don't need to do anything for that. And so it's a 50% chance, and you can see here straight away. Let's reset. Oh, okay, can't reset, fair enough. So it's not on that one. And actually we can output what the dice roll was. So set the counter to what the dice roll is. And you might think, well, why have you done it out of 100? It's just easy. I can work with hundreds. So 76. The dice roll is 50. So no, dice roll is 49. So the battle chance is 50. So any number that's 50 or lower, it will go to battle. So that's higher than 50. That's higher than 50. Higher than 50. Lower than 50. Now, obviously, 50 is way, way too high. You wouldn't expect a battle every 50. So what we're going to do now is just change that. And this is the beauty of using alterable values. You can just change them. So I'm going to do sort of a 10% chance. I've got to be careful in a way to say 10% because we can't get 100. So it's not technically 10%. And you can see, actually, I'm walking quite happily. Look at that. No, I've done way more than 10 movements. Ah, there we go. So you'd expect 1 in every 10 movements to start a battle. But it might start a battle straight away, which actually probably would be quite irritating. There we go. Feels alright. It doesn't feel too much. It doesn't feel like there's too many battles. But if we then, oh, there we go, battle straight away. And the problem, I suppose, with it is that you can get a battle straight away. And so what you might want to do is have like a minimum probability and an upper probability, and every step you take sort of adds one onto the probability, like so that as you're walking it gets more and more likely. So we might play around with that tomorrow, but that is definitely going to be it for today. So we've actually achieved quite a lot. We've got a nice transition to the battle screen, and we've got it so that every time you walk there's a dice roll happening, and we're going to get a number between 0 and 99, and we can set a number to have the battle. So we started with 50, but we were just having way too many battles, so we went down to 10, and that feels about right. What we don't want to do though is have the player step out first of all without any kind of notice or any kind of chance to to experience the world at all, and suddenly they're into a battle. That's not desirable. So we will need some sort of way of increasing the chances as the player moves, so that they're not hit with a battle straight away. We might have it 0 for a few walks, for a few steps, to let the player sort of take in the environment and then hit them with a battle. But there needs to be an element of randomness as well, because that's the whole point of a JRPG. It's not predictable. You could be struck at any time, and that's kind of the excitement. But anyway, that's enough for today, so thank you very much for watching. If you want to see more from us, click subscribe and keep your suggestions and comments coming in. Clearly we do listen to them, because this is now the 3rd one that we've done based on your suggestions. So thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow.